Okay, continuing on, this is part two, graphing using table solutions. So in some of this, I've got little tricks that I can show you that's going to help with pieces of this that, especially the fraction parts that, everyone is just like, oh my God, a fraction. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a table of at least three solutions to the linear equation. I only do three because yes, you only need 2 points to draw a straight line, but what if one of those points are wrong? Then it will show that it would be completely off if you calculated one of them wrong. Always do at least three solutions for the equation. Then we're going to graph the ordered pairs from the table, draw the line, and then you'll hear about my name the baby again. For equations containing a fraction with x, it is best to choose multiples of the denominator to plug in for x and obtain the y values to create those ordered pair solutions. I'll show you what that's talking about. That's the part that I find really helpful. All right. For anything that doesn't have a fraction, I find the easiest ones to do are -1, 0, and 1. We're going to create a t that has x and has our y equals 3x minus 2 and then our y. So we're going to have a xy when we're done. Ordered pair. That's the goal for each one of these. And I use -1, I use 0, and I use 1. I just always have. They're the easiest ones to deal with, and they're pretty consistent as far as getting the answers. I've never had an issue. I've been doing this a long time. So y equals 3 times, we're solving for y, so where the x is, I'm going to plug in -1. And I'm going to simplify the right. 3 times -1 is -3 minus 2. -3 minus 2 is -5. So my first order pair is -1, -5. Pause the video, go through and do the next two yourself and see what you get for your x, y's, and then we'll continue from there. Where my x is, I'm going to put 0. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 2 is -2. So 0, -2 is my next order pair. And then y equals 3 times 1 minus 2. 3 times 1 is 3. Minus 2 is 1. So 1, 1 is my last. All right, let's go down here. Let's completely finish this one because the next one I want you to do yourself and then come back to see how you've done afterwards. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to plot -1, -5. So that means I have to go to the left 1 and down 5 because remember, x is always first. So from the center, I have to go left 1 and down 5, place my point. When you're doing these, you do not label every point. You're just going to label your line. So I placed my point. I'm not going to label it. I'm going to go and get my next point. 0, -2. 0, -2, place my point. Don't label it. And then 1, 1. So that means I go to the right 1 and up 1, place my point. Here's the part that I struggle with. Drawing a straight stinking line. Let's whip this out. All right. There's my line. Now, there's a couple things you need to know about the line. You need to understand that it's going on and on forever and ever, amen, in both directions. That's the first thing you need to know. It's not just these 3 points. It's going on. A line is continuous forever. The next thing you need to know is to label this line. You're going to come back up here and you're going to write this next to that line. Y equals, this is the naming your baby, y equals 3x minus 2. Done. That part for this problem is done. We've created the table, we've plotted our points, we've drawn the line, and then we've named our line. Name your baby. Now, I want you to go through and do the same thing over here for this one. Use the same numbers, do exactly the same thing, plot your points, don't label them, draw your line, and then name the line, and then come back to see how you did. Pause your video. -1, 0, and 1. So we're, let me come up here and do it. Y equals negative, -1 plus 5. Negative times a negative is +1 plus 5, which is 6. So -1, 6 is my first one. Then y equals -0 plus 5. Well, that's just 0 plus 5, which is 5. And then the last one is y equals -1 plus 5. So that's -1 plus 5, which is 4. So 1, 4 is my third point. All right, let's plot these points. -1, 6. So that's going to be left 1 and up 6. Left, I'm going to use a different color. Left 1 and up 6. The next one is 0, 5. So it's not going left or right. It's just going to go up to 5. Place that point. And then 1, 4. They're going to go right 1 and up 4. Right 1, up 4. All right, let me draw my straight line, as straight as it can be. Make sure and put arrows on it to show that it is continuing in both directions. Forever and ever, amen. Now we need to name it. Y equals -x plus 5. Now it's funny, I remember on an exam one time I had a student, whenever I said, because they didn't pay attention to my class, whenever I said name your line, they named it like Alexandra or something. I'm like, that's adorable. I gave them a point just for being silly, but now that you've heard that, I'm not going to do that for you. All right, let's keep going. Oh, the next one, same concept. The one thing I'm going to tell you here is solve for y. So we've got a line here. We want to solve for y to make it easier to fill in that chart. So that's the first thing I want you to do before you watch me solving for y, just to make sure you're still fresh on it. So let's do that. Solving for y, I'm going to rewrite this. 2x minus y is equal to 4. Subtracting 2x from both sides. -y is equal to -2x plus 4. Remember, you can't combine these. They're not like terms. This is an x, this doesn't. And then this is a negative, so I need to divide everything by a -1 or multiply through by -1. Y equals 2x minus 4. So there's my line. I want you to create your -1, 0, 1. Your x, y, x, y. Do that and then come back to see how you did. All right, y equals 2 times -1 minus 4. 2 times -1 is -2 minus 4. Signs are the same, so you add them and keep the sign. So -1, -6 is our first one. The second one is y equals 2 times 0 minus 4. 0 minus 4 is -4. And then the last one is y equals 2 times 1 minus 4. 2 minus 4 is -2. So 1, -2 is our last ordered pair. Give me just a moment. It's going to get loud in here. Okay, now we need to go through and plot these points. -1, -6 means we're going to go left 1 and down 6. So on our coordinate system, left 1, down 6, place your point. Again, don't label it. The next one is 0, -4. We're not going left or right. We're just going to go down 4, place your point. And then the last one is 1, -2. We have to go right 1 and then down 2. Let's draw our straight line. It's my biggest nemesis is drawing. And then arrows. And now we need to name this line. Now we could use the one that we already did, or we could use this one that was the original. I'm just going to use the original. That tends to be what I do. 2x minus y equals 4. They're both right. All right. Now, this next one. Breathe, first of all. Do not skip this because there's a fraction. I'm going to make your life easier. I always try to. So again, let's get it set up. You know what? I'm not going to do that yet. First thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the fraction. Well, no, I don't want to do that either. What would I do to make this easier for you? Okay, I know what I'm going to do. Let's set it up. X, and then y equals negative 1/4 x plus 2 y, and then x y. I don't know why I was rethinking this. You ever get those days where you're just questioning everything you do? Gosh, daily for me, girl, guy, whoever's watching. 2, 3. Okay, we're still going to do 3, and 0 is going to be one of them. The other two numbers will not be 1 and negative 1. Ever, 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 ever when you're dealing with a fraction. You're going to make your life harder. You're going to hate me, and I don't want that to be the case for you. Actually, it doesn't matter. But so we're going to just choose our denominator. Just strictly choose 4 and negative 4. Done. That just made your life so much easier. Let me show you why. Y equals negative 1/4 times 4 plus 2. These two reduce. Boom, gone. We're left with negative 1 plus 2, which is 1. So 4, 1 is my first point. 0 is easy. Y equals negative 1/4 times 0 plus 2. Negative 1/4 times 0 is just 0 plus 2, which is 2. So 0, 2 is my second point. No fractions. The last one is y equals negative 1/4 times 4. Oh, negative 4 plus 2. A negative times a negative is a positive. So when we cancel these out, it's going to be a positive 1, not a negative, plus 2, which is 3. So negative 4, 3 is our last one. Let's plot these points, draw our line, and do what we've been doing. But notice how much easier that was by not choosing 1 and negative 1. It got rid of the fractions, and you don't have to deal with them. First one's going to be positive 4, positive 1. So write 4 up 1. Write 4 up 1. 0, 2. So I'm not going left or right. I'm just going up 2, placing my point. And then negative 4, 3 means left 4, up 3. Left 4, up 3. Place that point. Draw your line. It's about as good as I'm going to get it. All right, draw my arrows. Now, come back up here and go y equals negative 1/4 x plus 2. Y equals negative 1/4 x plus 2. Do not forget to name your line. I will take points off. Because if you just give me a line and there's no name to it, I don't know which goes with which. I'm not going to assume. Please make sure and name your line. All right, we've got a couple more. Ooh, these are fun. Okay, so these are wicked simple. What you need to understand is this. If you're looking at an X, Y line, this is the best way I can explain this. The lines for Y, because this is your Y, are horizontal lines, right? Whenever you're looking at your line. Let me pause the video again, it's getting loud. So when the horizontal lines for 5, this would be y equals 1, y equals 2, y equals 3. Y's are always, y equals is a horizontal line. All right, so you just draw your horizontal line where y is equal to 5, put your arrows on it, and then put the name on it. So where 5 is for your y-axis is a horizontal line. Draw your arrows and go y equals 5. Done. The next one for x, you'll notice that x, if you're looking at your numbers for x is vertical lines. So these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we need to solve for x, but then x is a vertical line. Okay. So 6x equals negative 12. Divide both sides by 6. X is equal to negative 2. So I'm going to come where x is negative 2. Right here, draw my vertical line. Just straight up and down. There's no points. It's all points where x is equal to negative 2. And you're going to label it. You can either say 6x is equal to negative 12 or x is equal to negative 2. That's it for those. To me, those are the easiest ones, but gosh, y'all, I can't tell you how many people mess those up. All right, that's it for this one. I will see you in the practice round, and then we'll do part 3.